The Falcon has taken flight. Gibson amps are back, and that was fun to say. Hey, it's me, Baxter.
And me, Jonathan.
The time we've all been waiting for our whole lives, Gibson
Forever.
amps. Right? This is like better than like the second coming of the McRib. You know?
It's like the 10th coming of the McRib.
The McRib keeps coming back and it is never old. You always
Just
want
remember,
McRib.
it's always for a limited time.
There's so many things that are. No, but the amps are back. Like, and okay, so first thoughts on the amps so far, what you've seen?
Awesome.
Yes, you're gonna say a bad
Home
word.
run. I was going to possibly curse. Someone questioned my language on the live stream the other day, so I'm trying to be good. Apparently, I got too excited. I don't know.
I mean, well, that's the thing though. If we worry about like one person's always gonna question some stupid things we do, like, hey, like Baxter, you probably shouldn't be given a razor to cut your own hair, or like Jonathan, you. Never mind, you're perfect.
I was gonna say.
But I have nothing to say against you. Even your shirts always fit you just right. Like I'm just trying to.
Just perfectly.
I have to find the right cut because I'm a little bit more svelte, I guess is the word, instead of trying to find it.
That's the word.
I'm just thinking about the guy's body in New True Romance now, just making sweet love. Anyway, the Gibson amps are back. These are built in the good old US of A.
They are.
And before we go any further, they are priced right.
I know that some people out there are going to still be like, "Oh, they're expensive," but they're really
expensive.
They're really not for what they are. I mean, relative to everything else out there. Yes, that is a lot for an amp, but
Well, let's get into how much they cost. So you got these things coming at like $14.99 and
yeah, that's the 5-watt one.
$17.99.
Yeah. So I do think it's fun that we just did our little 5-watt amp shootout the other day.
Yes.
Which we had, no idea. That was just a happy coincidence. But so yeah, I've just played the Skylark, which was the little 5-watt vintage Gibson. I'm gonna say maybe this one looks kind of awesome because it goes from 7, like the 5-watt version Falcon. It's 10-inch speaker, so a bigger speaker. Goes from 7 watts to 3 watts.
Which is really cool.
But the kicker,
Here it is. Bring it to me.
reverb.
Oh.
By God, it has reverb built in. And is it digital? Nope, it's
I
spring.
mean, how many
reverb.
times was I on the phone with Rod last year, being like, just put reverb in these amps. Put them in the Starlight. Put them in the.
I really do wish the Starlight
Put it in the M80.
The
Put the
magnetron.
reverb in the M80.
I'm kind of
Super
fine
15.
without it in the M80 because
I want it in the Super 15 though, or lose the Super 15.
I think the Super 15. I do wonder if the baby M80 is going to be the Super 15 killer. Maybe not though.
We're magnetone lovers, and like I'm just like, just put me some reverb. I'll change the circuit. Like I don't
A
care.
Super 15 with reverb though, I think would be killer, especially with all the the built-in speaker load and all that stuff. But anyways, that's not what this is about.
Anyway, sorry.
Back to Gibson amps. I also love that they kept the vintage aesthetic.
Yes.
Like from the front, man, it looks
good.
It looks just like the little one we've got wherever it is. Same handle.
It's like a Cabrio, a Volkswagen Cabrio from 1996.
It's
perfect.
just like that.
Perfection, black or white.
They didn't go crazy with modern like specs, but they put the attenuator, and I think that was smart.
Well, because they're doing the thing that I think Marshall is starting to finally learn is like people aren't buying 412s and like they're not buying stacks and like what Gibson cut its bread on these small sort of like practice amplifiers and like, hey, let's reissue those with modern features that people can play in their apartments, their houses, their bedrooms, their home offices.
Well, funny you say that, right? Like these things like the shootout we did the other day, those are supposed to be student model practice amplifiers. But they're not anymore because you can't play a 100-watt amplifier even on stage for gigs. So like these 5-watt amps, people are using them for everything. They're playing them at home. They're playing them in the studio because they sound great recorded. And then they're playing them live with a mic in their ears because you can't hear your amp on stage anymore. Anyways.
And just for full transparency, just so everyone knows, we're sponsored by Gibson, so we're talking about them. Oh, wait, no, we're not. We don't carry Gibson.
What?
And we have no financial gain from this. The fact that we saw them and we like them, and we want to talk about them and bring it to anybody out there who wants to listen, that's perhaps why we're super cool.
I would say 100%.
Cool.
Hey, and 100%. Maybe we get these amps and they sound like garbage. I don't know. But everything we've seen
could,
so far,
they could suck the middle.
I think they're a home run. If they sound like even,
the demo
6
sounded
out of
good.
10.
Was he playing on a Firebird or something too? Or
Yeah.
He should have.
Right.
That was a weird choice.
I mean, hey, but then like that was the 20-watt one because there's a 20-watt one and the 20-watt one is what, a 112.
And that's the one I'm sort of more interested in for like I don't know, but the 5-watt.
I think I
could be
want
cool
the 5
too.
watt.
The 5-watt could be pretty cool too. It's like, it's always hard for me, like psychologically, to be like, well, the 5-watt's only a few $100s cheaper than the 20-watt, and I can play the 20-watt with people.
But they have different character. You know what I mean? They're different.
The 5-watt's gonna break up like a horse.
Yeah, because it sounded almost fuzzy, like fuzz.
Like a horse.
Break up like, I don't know.
That makes me
what
think of
means.
your sister's horse farm that she has, like where she takes people out and they can experience the Old South.
Like the horse kicks you.
Not the sweet Old South like in Terra.
Brutal.
Brutal Old South. No smiles in this Old South.
None.
There's no Colin supper.
Everyone's just beaten down.
Yeah, yes, here you go. No, I think this could be a big move for Gibson. I don't think it's a huge money maker necessarily, but I think it's a big move for establishing them in this sphere again.
We've talked about this since they acquired Mesa Boogie. So
yes, would you rather have this or a Mesa Boogie?
this.
I'm going to answer the same.
There's maybe 1 or 2 Mesa models that I'm like, okay. But I just think this is cooler. I like it as simple.
The simple is the big part for me.
Yeah.
Like, I do love Mesa Boogies. They sound great. They're really,
But they're mostly
God, they're
complicated.
confusing.
Like I've always kind of wanted a Lone Star, and then I look at all those knobs, and I'm like, oh. And I've heard people say that once you figure it out, it's great. And every time I hear someone who has it figured out, the tone's amazing. The little, what is it, the California Blonde or whatever.
They do sound great. Like,
sound is great, but
it's
I don't know. A Rectover. Yeah, I mean, there's Mesas. I
was bitten by the 2-rock bug though, and I sort of got like brought over in that world. So,
but no, if I had 2 sitting there, I'd probably, assuming the
well, one of my
Falcon
favorite little
sounds
amps
good.
is that little Gibson
You
down
love it,
there.
dude.
That I love it.
GA5.
I love the GA5. I think it's a great, I have the original and a reissue of it. And
Which is what you play most of the time upstairs, right?
I used to. I've been playing that car Mercury 5 now because
All right.
once
That's fair.
once you get a car in your living room, it's kind of hard to go back.
But I mean, the old ones don't have reverb.
No, they don't have reverb, but unfortunately my living room's like a
I was
big
gonna say,
open
it's cavernous
old brothel.
with all hard surfaces.
Yes, some of the hard surfaces do
easy
this.
cleanup.
They've been doing that, but then since the water's been coming in more, they do a little bit more wave in them. It's a nice sort of touch.
Oh, it's gonna be okay.
I call it my water feature in
gonna be fine.
my Asian restaurant. I had a waterfall in the back of the apartment. That was enjoyable.
Dumping right into the floor.
Yeah, the floors now have this nice wobble to them, and it somehow didn't hit the piano.
That was my first question. Remember?
It's like
I was like,
that piano's been hit by water before, but not by me, by the original owner. It has water damage all over the top of it from a roof. Apparently, water likes to mess with people and musicians.
can't really move that giant piano out of the way.
Not easily.
Very
Not with my family of 3 toddlers.
Pull
Kids,
out,
push.
pull.
God darn, I can lose one in this. It's worth it. It's a Steinway, for Christ's sake. Let's go.
But
No, I'm excited about this. I think it's the right move for Gibson. I love these old vintage amps like this. I love the Voxes of this sort of output. I love the Fenders of this output. We love the Magnetones of this output. That
my
Magnetone
Lord.
amp. Oh, that's
I've
Jason.
seen on the video. There's a lot of people were digging that.
It was great.
But
It sounds great, but it's quiet.
this could scratch that 5-watt itch for a lot of people. Because people were mentioning in the comments like the Tone King and then the Gremlin, and then there's like some of the less
That's
expensive.
a good
options
name
like
for a
the Boogie.
YouTube channel. 5-watt itch.
There's a 5-watt world
I know, but 5-watt itch. That could be funny. It's like the Wish version of 5-watt world.
where you do no research. You're just like, I don't know.
I don't know, 5 watts.
I one time heard this story where because he's so meticulous,
Yeah, like
which
just do
his
the
channel is
opposite. Be
great.
kind of like us.
I'm sure you guys are aware of Keith's channel. I don't know
If you're not
Keith's
aware of
name, like, I know
5-watt
him,
world,
but I
go
don't-
check it
I
out.
don't
It's a
know him.
great channel.
Yes.
Yeah, I was trying to think if there's no other movies you got to see either because we're about to wrap it up. I think that's kind of it.
If Gibson wants to send us 2 of these amps to try out and demo, and then we'll send them back.
We were talking about our friends that carry them. Yeah, Gibson, you should send us them. We don't care about selling your stuff.
Send Gibson a message for us if you have a connection. Tell them to send us a couple amps.
And we will demo them and send them right back,
will.
or keep them.
Maybe.
And
They never arrived.
I mean, we probably we could buy them and you'd buy the 5-watt one probably. I'll buy the 20-watt one.
I would like to have a little amp like that.
You could have that next to your bed. Just like you play it. No, it's just like to soothe Christy to sleep. I always like to think of the lead singer from AC/DC, doing a sweet love song for his wife. Honey, I want to sing a song. Just like the beautiful just like a small sweet acoustic song, but his voice is just oh baby, I love your way. That's kind of what I imagined.
That's a great. Someone should do that.
I don't know, SNL, he's free reign.
No, it's too funny for SNL.
The SNL had some good stuff recently.
Lies.
The Nate Bargatze.
I won't believe it.
With what he did George Washington. Check out that skit. It's one of my favorites in recent time. I really enjoyed that. Nate Bargatze, like, he grew on me. I didn't like him at first. I watched his comedy specials, like, don't get it. Then we went back and rewatched it. I was like, I get it. He's like the Pink Floyd of comedians.
Oh,
ooh, that's a good throw. Like,
listen,
you might not get it in first lesson. Listen,
but you might. He's got nothing on Cat Williams. I don't know if you've seen all the Cat Williams.
I've been hearing about it.
It's amazing.
Cat's like Bon Scott and all the guys from AC/DC.
I love. I already sort of casually liked Cat Williams, and now
you love him.
He might. I mean, yes. No, I do love him.
Well, on that note, let us know your thoughts on these new Gibsons. We're excited. If you know anybody Gibson that wants to send us some, if you work at the Gibson Garage, send them. We'll send it back. We'll send the shipping. We don't care. We'd love to play them. Peace, as always. But first, click like, subscribius,
hit the old bell,
and bellius. Thank you all. Good night.